With the eyes and ears of the world currently on Africa, Apple Music is celebrating Africa Month this May with a campaign themed around Umoja. The campaign also shines a spotlight on the new generation of African artists who are changing the narrative in the music industry locally and abroad. This includes artists from Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe and South Africa, just to mention a few. The playlists are made up of songs that make the artists proud to be African or that have changed the landscape of the music in Africa. This morning, we chat to Nviiri the Storyteller from Kenya, vocalist Shasha and DJ Cuppy from London. A very good morning to you three. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Morning.
Good morning. Good to have you on the show this morning. Shasha, I'm going to start with you. What does it mean for you to be included in the Apple Music Africa Month campaign?
Oh man, it's definitely exciting for me, and it's a great opportunity, you know. I feel like it would definitely introduce me, you know, to people who haven't heard me and all. And yeah, man, like I feel like I appreciate that type of opportunity, you know. Super grateful.
And for those who are seeing you and hearing you for the first time, who is Shasha and how did your musical journey start?
Oh, okay, well, I'm a singer-songwriter from Zimbabwe. And man, my journey, gosh, it's a 7-year journey. But it started back home in Butare, Zimbabwe. And man, it started back there with my family, and we just really pushed from that side with my team. And from there, I came from Zim, and we thought that we wanted to, you know, obviously tap into this, you know, this industry here in South Africa. So we thought we should branch out here. And man, I remember we partnered with Anashe from LA, and we came to work with some producers out here in SA. And yeah, in the mix of all of that, I meet one of my how do I say? Yeah, my cab driver introduces me to DJ Maporisa. I'm trying to cram this whole story up, but yeah, my cab driver introduces me to Maporisa, and from there, man, I just started working back to back with the Lindo, the vocalist, Something Soweto, MFR Soul, and yeah, man, it just kept on building until now, really.
And look at where you are today. All right, Nviiri, let me bring you in. What makes you proudly African?
Well, you know, specifically just being African itself is such a power by itself, you know. And I try to be the storyteller and just tell our African stories, you know, and I appreciate especially the power through music that we can be able to cut through borders, and it's one of the things that goes beyond be it your culture, be it language barrier. And it always just cuts through to everything. And then at the end of the day, me being African is just me being able to tell our stories and to let people know who we are. Let it be known out there, you know.
Sure. Now, Cuppy, what's your take on the current music scene in Africa?
I mean, the current music scene is full of so much. You have amazing artists like, of course, Shasha and Nviiri, and the music scene is booming. There has never been a better time to be an African. We've seen the creatives go from strength to strength. And as a DJ, I am spoiled with music. You know, talking just about being African, it is the most beautiful feeling. We are people that are unique. We are unapologetically ourselves. And despite the music scene in the past, you know, lacking structure and maybe certainty and maybe a professional way for artists to nurture and to profit, we are building our music industry as an economy and sector with culture and with rich excitement.
Sure.
We're doing things the African way. And so the world is now watching.
Indeed. It really is at our feet. Now, Shasha, back to you. What African story does your music tell?
Oh man, for me, I've always felt like okay, I've always said that love is always my drive, you know, because I feel like there is there's so much happening in the world, you know, and I feel like with me, I've always wanted to share so much love, so much. And the thing is, with love, it's so broad. And I mean, I'd like to think that everyone would love to be loved. And love is a language that I feel like anyone can understand, and it could cross not just here in Africa, but cross all over the world, you know, because we are people at the end of the day, you know. Indeed. But yeah, man, that's my story.
Yeah, you're quite right there. You know, it's so beautiful to be loved, and it's so beautiful to love. Now, Nviiri, you recently released the music video for your single Niko Sawa. Tell us more about that.
Yes. Well, that was one of the tracks in the EP called Kitenge. Just recently released the EP called Kitenge, and it has 6 songs. And it's basically just a whole storyline of someone vibing all the way to getting into a relationship to a breakup. It's the whole cycle of a relationship. So Niko Sawa was one of the tracks which did really well. And we ended up doing the video with it was an in-house production with the team, yeah. And the reception, of course, was beautiful. We appreciate it. And on my end, it was, considering the video was done like 3 weeks after the audio was released, due to public demand. Let me say that. Okay. And it was beautiful, considering that we had to tell that story through the visuals now, because people are relating so much with the audio, and the visuals played a huge role in us just telling the story and showing them the perspective from which I sang it from. You know, just to break it down, for it to be simple, is just a good relationship, but a bit of toxicity in it. But Niko Sawa just means I'm okay. I mean, if you're okay, then I'm okay. That's basically the meaning of the song. So it just takes us through someone reminiscing through the good times. And at the end of the day, of course, there's fight that comes with a whole thing. But, you know, you're still stuck in the same thing. You know, none wants a good thing to end, but if it has to end, it has to end. You know, you can't force it.
Sure. Hey, tell me about it. And you co-wrote Melanin with Sauti Sol. Tell us about the song and the inspiration behind it.
Come again?
You co-wrote Melanin with Sauti Sol. Tell us more about this song and the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, Melanin, I was so privileged to be part of the songwriting process. Initially, it was supposed to, it's just when I just joined the industry, and I really wanted to do a collab with Sauti Sol. I was doing the video production at that point.
Okay. And
during the whole process of video production is when we had a sit down with the boys, and we started writing. And it was supposed actually to be a collaboration, but at that point, you know, we just spoke about it, and it came out. It actually so happened that Pato Ranking was supposed to have a collaboration with the guys.
Okay.
And Pato, when Pato visited Nairobi, he also loved the jam. We did an acoustic set for him, and he loved it. So, what
cool
other
stuff.
way
we are dying to hear that one as well. Yeah, unfortunately, we're out of time. But Cuppy, as a producer and a DJ, how do you try and maintain the Afrobeat or the African sound in the music that you make?
Well, I think it's so important to bring in the new and the old. You know, it's important to work with creatives that are on ground. There's so many young people making beautiful music. And so for me, living across the world, working with different artists, you know, it's important to bring in those authentic flavors through those that work with you, from the studio engineer down to the producer, down to mix and master. So for me, authenticity is the message here.
Okay. And on the international front, seeing that you are well-traveled, how is African music received?
Well, like I said earlier, there has never been a better time to be African. Everybody knows that African music is here and it's not going anywhere. We are breaking barriers. We are really, really making waves within the market. And, you know, it's not just about that campaign, Africa to the world, but it's also bringing the world to Africa. This is a great time for people to discover everything from our music, but our fashion, our food, our culture. And so I think Africa is the hottest thing right now in the world.
Yeah. All right. Now, Shasha, talk to us about your upcoming album and documentary on your journey from Zimbabwe to South Africa.
My album right now, I'm actually incorporating like a lot of, how do I say, I want to show how really diverse I am, you know, and because, you know, people know me as the Amapiano queen, so I just want to, you know, stretch a little more and showcase who I actually am. But other than that, really, you know, it's inspired by, you know, 2020 actually, you know, because 2020 was such a bittersweet year. But yeah, man, like for me, I had to tap into my spirituality, and also that for me, I'm incorporating that in my album. So that is something that I am enjoying right now. And of course, working with some new people. I mean, the BET did a lot for me, opened doors for me. So I'm working with a lot of people around. I don't like to say too much about it, but yeah. So
Great
yeah,
stuff.
That's really about my album. And yeah, my documentary is really about the journey from back in Zimbabwe to this point. And yeah, man, that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay, that's so cool. Shasha, Nviiri, and DJ Cuppy, great chatting to you three. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and all the best in your endeavors.
Thank you.
Cool stuff. Thank you. We just spoke to Nviiri the Storyteller from Kenya and vocalist Shasha about her upcoming album, as well as international DJ Cuppy. Well, the Apple Music campaign features an exclusive Africa Month Umoja playlist, which includes some of the best cross-continental collaborations.